Welcome to My Teacher's Box. Today, we are going to look at the Timetable Generator. You can now skip hours of manual planning and reduce the possibility of human error by using this tool. It helps you identify mistakes in your timetable setup, and it now also includes a new autofill option that can automatically place all your remaining subjects for you after you've manually placed the subjects and free periods you want fixed first. Let's get started. Firstly, you can either start fresh by selecting primary school or high school. High school is currently unavailable and will be coming soon with grouped subject support. For now, we are going to use primary school. Additionally, you can save your progress and continue later if you are still busy with your setup, or you can open an already completed saved timetable. To save time, I already loaded a timetable that contains all the completed data. I'm going to go back to step 1 and walk through each step with you so you can see how the setup should be completed. Step 1 asks which grades are in your school. My school has grades 4, 5, 6 and 7. Step 2 is classes. Here you add your classes. You simply type in which classes each grade has. In my school, grades 4, 5, 6 and 7 all have classes A, B, C, D, E and F. You can either choose from the buttons below or manually type in your class names for each grade. Step 3 is subjects. Here you add your subjects. First, you choose the grades and classes that have those subject names. Then you type in your subject and select Add. If you are a bilingual school and some of your classes are taught in different languages, all you have to do is select only the classes that should receive that subject in that language. For example, in my case, classes A, B and C are Afrikaans classes, while D, E and F are English classes. All I need to do is select only the relevant classes, type in the subject and click Add. If a subject does not apply to a certain grade, you can simply click the Delete button to remove it. On the right-hand panel, you can see every grade, their classes, and each subject assigned to those classes. Step 4 is periods per cycle. Here we set up the periods per cycle. First, select your subject. In my case, I'm going to choose mathematics. For each grade, I can now choose how many periods per cycle this subject should appear for that grade. For example, mathematics may need to appear 7 times during one cycle for grade 4. As you continue filling this in, the right-hand panel will automatically update and show the periods per cycle for every subject. Step 5 is teachers. Here I simply add my teacher's title, first name and surname, then select the grades they teach and click Add Teacher. A list will then appear showing all the teachers and the grades they teach. Step 6 is the school setup. On the right-hand panel under Setup Summary, you will now see the minimum number of periods needed. In my example, the minimum required is 45 periods. This means the class with the most subjects requires at least 45 periods in the cycle. You cannot have too many periods because learners would end up without supervision, and you also cannot have too few periods because not all the subjects will fit. In my example, I have a 5-day cycle, which is exactly 1 week. I want 2 breaks on my timetable. I'm going to set it up so that there are 3 periods before break 1, 3 periods before break 2, and 3 periods after break 2. Below that, I can now set up my school times. My school starts at 7:30. My period duration is going to be 35 minutes. Break 1 duration is 20 minutes, and break 2 duration is also 20 minutes. Additionally, if you have a specific day that uses different time slots, you can override that day individually. Step 7 is Assign Teachers to Subjects. On the right-hand panel, I will see a list of all my teachers and their capacities. I then have a drop-down for every grade. When I open a grade, it will show me each subject. I can also choose to group everything by class if I prefer. In my case, I'm going to leave it grouped by subject.
Next to each subject, it will show how many periods per cycle that subject requires. Under Teacher, I can open the drop-down list and it will show all available teachers and how many free periods they still have available. I will not be able to select teachers that do not have enough free periods remaining. As I assign teachers to subjects, you will notice their capacity updates on the right-hand side. Step 8 is shared subjects. Some teachers do not have their own classes and therefore need to share a classroom with another teacher or collect learners from another teacher. Here, all I have to do is select the grade, the visiting teacher, the subject they teach, and the receiving teacher. The receiving teacher section will also show how many free periods each teacher has available, as well as the grades they teach, making it easier to choose the correct teacher. After selecting the teacher, I can choose how many free periods will be used from that teacher. I can then link and apply the changes. I can now review my data, download it, and run the final check. The final check ensures that I haven't made any mistakes and confirms whether I am ready to proceed to the editor. Once you arrive in the editor, you will notice that it has already created every teacher's timetable and every class timetable automatically. Inside the teacher timetable, I now have the option to manually place subjects. I can select an open spot and choose which subject to place there. After I've manually placed all the subjects and free periods that I want fixed, I can then click the Auto Fill button. The system will then automatically calculate and place every remaining subject for every teacher while ensuring that all timetable rules are followed correctly. As you can see, all periods have now been placed successfully. Below each teacher timetable, you will also see a summary table showing the subjects that teacher teaches, as well as the number of free or admin periods they have available. If you scroll down further, you will also see an additional Teachers Off timetable, which shows which teachers are off during each period. I can also click on a subject to change its colour and font styling. If I don't want to manually style every subject, I can simply click the Random button and it will automatically make all the timetables colourful for me. I can also add global events. Global events are events that affect the entire school, for example, assemblies, devotions, sports periods, or school events. In my case, I'm going to add a sports period after period 3, before break 1, and make it 20 minutes long for all grades. As you can see, it automatically added the sports period, adjusted the timetable times at the top, and accurately updated the school day ending times. Once I'm happy with everything, I can preview my timetable. The system will first enter a rendering phase where it generates all the timetable layouts. After rendering, I'll have the option to either preview or download my timetables. When downloading, I can choose between one timetable per A4 page or 2 A5 timetables on one A4 page to make printing easier. And just like that, your completed timetables are ready. After downloading, you will receive a zip file. Inside the zip folder, you will find a complete combined file containing all teacher and class timetables, as well as individual timetable files for every teacher and class separately. This makes it easy to print all timetables at once, or only print extra copies for specific teachers or classes when needed. Thank you for watching the Timetable Generator tutorial in My Teacher's Box, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.